Many of the people that live here are farmers who survive on their crops and livestock.
The banks were just giving them these large amounts of money that they didn't know how to manage.
It's like they flood them with too much opportunity, of which they actually haven't got the capacity to be able to sustain.
You can't just lend money. It has to be paired with a program that builds capacity.
Son muy machistas los varones. Entonces, a veces la mujer es la que está más responsable, está más con los hijos, ¿no?
The biggest challenge of community banking is men.
Yo estoy para apoyar a la gente pobre, para defender a las personas pobres que no tienen dinero.
And in our individual success, what we also bring about is sustainable community success.
It takes more than money to lift people from poverty. This world of ours is more beautiful, more complicated, and more inspiring than we could ever imagine. My name is Sanjay, and this is the story of a journey with ADRA to serve a hurting world. I've spent the last 6 months seeing a side of our planet that not many people get to see, witnessing the most incredible challenges and the most extraordinary hope. Together, we've got a chance to impact the world in a whole new way. This is A Closer Walk. The highland plateaus of southeastern Peru are a stunning landscape framed by the snow-capped peaks of the Andes Mountains. This area is known as Altiplano, or High Plain. And outside of Tibet, this is the largest area of high plateau on the planet. Vestiges of the Incan Empire that once ruled this area are found side by side with other crumbling relics from its long history. Many of the people that live here are farmers who survive on their crops and livestock. It's a simple life, but it can be a challenging one for those families stuck in a cycle of poverty and debt. In the city of Juliaca and the surrounding countryside, there are huge numbers of families that live in extreme poverty. Over the last 30 years, Peru has been one of the leading countries in the world to implement microfinance programs. Microfinance is a term used to describe a broad range of financial services that serve people in poverty who lack access to basic financial needs, like savings and loans. Small groups of local farmers and artisans form into community banks that support the interest of its members.
Community banking to me is just an exciting thing because it's utilising the resources that exist within a community. It's about identifying a skill set, an opportunity that exists for an individual, but giving them access to resources. And the resources are nothing more than what they have had themselves. But it's about a sharing of the resources, creating a co-op of opportunities that if we all come together as a community, that we can actually contribute to each other's success.
El crédito que les ofrecemos a las emprendedoras es un medio. El fin es cambiar vidas de esas mujeres de escasos recursos, mujeres emprendedoras que quieran salir adelante, que quieran luchar en esta vida, ¿no? Pero sí, nosotros, por decir, nosotros les hacemos ahorrar a ellas. El crédito que nosotros les ofrecemos es crédito con ahorro. No hay un crédito sin ahorro. O sea, ellas tienen que ahorrar el 20%, el 10%, el 15% del capital que les prestamos. El crédito que les ofrecemos es de 200 soles, estaríamos hablando de unos $80 más o menos, o $70 que les prestamos a ellas, hasta un máximo de 6.000 soles. Pero tenemos líneas de crédito que vamos alargando a más monto, pero una señora va a iniciar siempre de un crédito de $80 a $300.
But these small loans can make a big difference for the people who would otherwise not be able to have access to these kinds of funds. Near the city of Puno, there is a group of women who work along the shores of Lake Titicaca. They have formed a cooperative and use a microloan system to invest in their business and build their capacity. Maura and Natalia are with ADRA and took me to meet the women who are part of this community bank.
Camisa que dice Waliki, bien, dice. Bien, bien.
These women work with totora, a reed that grows in the lake, to make sleeping mats and handicrafts that they sell in local markets.
No sirve las totoras de por aquí, sino ellos viajan, ¿no? Entran a 3 horas de viaje.
This specific plant grows deep into the lake. So there is some here close on this side of the lake, but it's no good for making anything. It's only good for feeding the cattle or for feeding the livestock. So they go 3 hours into the lake to find this one in particular. ¿Qué quieren decir que van a 3 horas dentro del lago? Ellos, la totora crece dentro del agua.
Dentro del agua, ajá. Y bueno, un pedazo sale hacia afuera también, ¿no? Entonces, y ellos van y cogen de ahí.
Okay.
So
yeah, it grows inside the water and then a piece comes out. That's how they know that it's there. So then they go pick it.
In the water?
In the water.
Wow. And so they bring it back from the lake and then they kind of process it into these sleeping mats that they then sell.
Ellas las traen del lago, entonces las convierten en estos pequeños matraces que
tienen que secar todo ello.
They dry it first and then they make it into the mats. Pero también ellas hacen otras artesanías.
Como por ejemplo, mira estos de aquí que hacen.
Okay, so they also make other kinds of artisan work. So this is some of the examples of the stuff that they make. So think, for decoration or hats or baskets, that kind of thing.
Margarita is a member of the cooperative near Lake Titicaca. She showed us into her home and shared with us some of the benefits that the microloans have brought to her group.
There used to be totora, the plant.
Material no, ahora nos faltaría así para techar, para techo, así no queremos dejar ADRA.
Poquito a poco.
Sí, así es, queremos subir más, sí.
Yeah. So at first they used to have rafts, and now they have a boat. They still have to row, but it's a boat, not a raft anymore.
And improvements, like being able to purchase a boat, help increase productivity, maximize efficiency, and ultimately make the lives of the women in the group better.
If we come together as a community and we all agree to put in, a certain amount of money to start a bank for ourselves, then I can actually borrow from that money later for leverage. So if my skill is handicrafts, then actually I can come to the bank, I can borrow some money, I can get the resources that I need, I can create the handicraft, I can take it to market, I can sell it, I pay back my loan to the bank, which then puts the money back into the community for somebody else to loan. And but in the meantime, I can invest maybe a little more back into the bank. Perhaps buy shares is often the terminology that they use, and I can keep some of the excess money that makes it more sustainable for me to be able to buy more resources into the future. So it's a great sort of way of not just sustaining but actually starting off sustainability, because I can then get a start, I can get access to a pool of money which allows me to be able to generate income that makes me more sustainable and at the same time give back to my communities. And every time somebody's paid back the loan with interest, the interest adds to the value of the money that's in the bank.
Les formamos, el crédito que les damos es es un crédito grupal, es colectivo, no es un crédito individual, es de banca comunal. Lo que hacemos es nosotros les damos no solamente el crédito, sino le damos crédito y educación, les capacitamos a la vez a las señoras. El dinero les damos obviamente para que ellos puedan invertir en sus actividades, ¿no? Prestamos al sector que es comercio, producción, a servicio. Son mujeres que a diario hacen compra y venta de algo o producen algo, ¿no? Les damos un crédito para que ellos puedan invertir en su actividad, puedan mejorar la actividad, puedan tener utilidades, puedan tener ganancias y con eso puedan mantener a su hogar.
And education and training are a necessary part of any microfinance program. You can't just lend money. It has to be paired with a program that builds capacity. When commercial banks have come in and given loans to people in similar situations, the results have been disastrous.
And so it's like they flood them with too much opportunity, of which they actually haven't got the capacity to be able to sustain.
Along the northern shore of Lake Titicaca is Puno, a city of 150,000, packed tightly in the strip of land that runs between the mountain ranges around them and the edge of the lake. At 12,507 feet above sea level, Lake Titicaca is considered the highest commercially navigable lake in the world, covering 3,240 square miles. With an average depth of 350 feet, it is also the largest lake by volume in all of South America. Lake Titicaca is home to the Uros, an ancient group of people who live on floating islands made from the totora harvested in the lake. The islands are entirely constructed from totora that has been bundled together and tied with long pieces of rope. New layers of totora are continually added to the top of the island as the bottom layers begin to disintegrate in the water. The main economy of Uros is tourism, and they have an almost constant stream of people who come to see the islands and learn about their native culture. At one time there was a community bank here, and although at first it was successful, after some time the women were not able to pay back the money they were borrowing.
When the women started to have difficulty paying back their money, they tried to figure out, okay, so what is the problem here? Why can't the women pay back? They found out that the banks had come, they had seen that the women were responsible, they had seen that the women were paying back on time, and then they came and they gave them 5,000-10,000 sol at a time, an amount that the women really couldn't handle. And so at that point, the banks were just giving them these large amounts of money that they didn't know how to manage.
You know, I think one of the aspects of community banking is scale. When most of the loans are, $20 to $150, banks don't want to fiddle around with a $20 to $150 loan. So when a bank comes in a commercial sense, it has sort of like a level at which they want to operate with loans. And so they can look at it and say, well, look, there's a sustainable model setting up here. We're seeing, a co-op forming. We're seeing economy beginning to flow into this community. Let's come in and set up a commercial enterprise. But the scale at which they want to set up that commercial enterprise, which makes it worthwhile for them as a major bank, is actually on a scale which the community can't sustain. And so it's like they flood them with too much opportunity, of which they actually haven't got the capacity to be able to sustain.
Y por otro lado también, los bancos en un inicio no apostaban por ellas, no podían darle el crédito porque por lo mismo que tenían un capital muy bajo. Pero han visto que estas mujeres eran puntuales, pagaban puntual, eran responsables, porque ellas querían el siguiente crédito y para seguir continuando trabajando con nosotros tenían que ser responsables. Y los bancos vieron eso, vieron que estas mujeres, estas personas de bajos recursos, que eran pobres, pagaban, eran puntuales, eran responsables, y entonces apostaron por ellos. Y no solo los bancos, las cajas, las pymes. Así que hoy por hoy hay algunas mujeres que están, inclusive se ha sobreendeudado a las personas, Tienen muchos créditos, hasta la firma les da el crédito. Entonces, algunas personas que han salido de un momento de la pobreza han podido estar en su apogeo tal vez de poder estar bien, pero al final les dieron muchos créditos. Al tener muchos créditos han empezado a sobreendeudarse y a bajar. Y algunas pues fracasaron en su negocio porque no supieron administrar bien o se sobreendeudaron demasiado.
The failure of the commercial banks to serve the underserved makes even more clear the necessity of the microfinance programs geared towards those in poverty. Amelia is a success story of the microloan program. She was knitting and selling handicrafts on the street when she got her first loan, which allowed her to open a photocopy business. With the success of that business, she put herself through law school.
Ahora, después de terminar mis estudios ya con título, he seguido maestría de la maestría de Derecho Constitucional y de Derecho Procesal. Yo estoy para apoyar a la gente pobre.
Amelia provides mediation services to the poor families in Juliaca that are not able to afford the expense of hiring a lawyer.
Y así también le quiero comentarle, en vista de que yo he sido pobre, muy pobre, de una comunidad campesina. Yo no tenía zapato antiguamente, no conocí ni una hojota, y eso, yo tengo esa emoción para la gente pobre que que están maltratados psíquicamente, físicamente, moralmente. Y por ese motivo yo quiero apoyarlo. Y entonces hay mucha gente, que hay mendigos aquí en Juliaca, que mucha gente está por las calles, que no hallando qué hacer. Para eso yo me he preparado como abogada para defender a las personas pobres que no tienen dinero y me siento muy contenta.
And it's not just the community that Amelia is able to give back to. She is able to support her family in a whole new way. Her father passed away several months ago, and Amelia has taken a leading role in the lives of her extended family. She is able to afford things not just for her son and husband, but for her brothers, sisters, and their families. Today, they are headed to the cemetery in Lampa to take part in an important custom celebrating the lives of their ancestors who have passed on. Dia de los Muertos. Amelia is a lawyer in Juliaca who was able to put herself through law school by building a business with a loan from a community banking program. Today she is preparing to head to the cemetery to visit the grave of her father, who recently passed away. Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is an important holiday in Peruvian culture, where families visit the graves of their ancestors and bring flowers, food, and drink. Beliefs vary about what exactly happens on this day, but for most people that celebrate, they believe that the souls of the deceased come back to visit, and it's important to welcome them with food and festivities. Amelia's family is preparing a feast, which they will take with them on the long bus ride to the cemetery in Lampa. This day can get very expensive, but because of Amelia's success, she is able to provide all the things necessary to honor her father. Often, families buy large bouquets of fresh flowers and specialty treats like tantawawas, loaves of bread shaped like swaddled babies, to take with them to the cemeteries. Across the Altiplano in Peru, cemeteries like this one are filled with people celebrating the lives of their ancestors. Food, music, and prayer take place at the gravesides of family members who have passed. For some families, like Amelia's, the day is about celebrating and spending time with family and friends. But for others, the celebration quickly turns to an opportunity to get drunk. Alcoholism, especially in the rural areas, is a major problem in Peru. It is far more common among men than women and can lead to psychological problems like depression and aggressive behavior.
Son muy machistas los varones, entonces a veces la mujer es la que está más responsable, está más con los hijos, ¿no? Y si el varón se va a lo que es a la vida del alcohol, pues no van a sentir el apoyo de ellos. Y muchas veces, a veces nos cuentan ellas que vienen ellos mareados y le quitan el dinero para tomar. Y entonces empieza a fracasar. O hay problemas entre ellos.
And it seems to be that the most sustainable, micro enterprises, the most sustainable community bankings across the world actually work amongst the females and not so well amongst the men. When men get money, they tend to spend it. They don't tend to plan for the future. Issues such as, alcohol, they spend a lot of money, but it's not actually going back to helping their families and helping others.
Hay bastante violencia contra la mujer todavía aquí, maltrato contra la mujer, y que a veces no se hace nada, y a veces simplemente ellas callan y por el qué dirán de la gente o no estar yendo a denunciarles, pues simplemente se callan. Y cuando tomamos sus casas, nos cuentan todo ello que ha pasado.
Gloria is part of a community bank in Juliaca and has used the loans to expand her business from selling a few sweaters at local markets to having several stores in Europe purchase her clothes for resale. But in some ways, what has been even more important than the money has been the connection to other women who are intimately familiar with the kinds of struggles you can have when your husband is unsupportive of your endeavors.
Mira, de una mujer que tiene a su lado a un hombre machista, pues es de poco hablar, se va rápido a su casa, es una mujer que a veces no dispone mucho de tiempo y está más en el hogar metido porque el esposo quiere que esté allí en el hogar, ¿no? Muchas veces ellas quieren emprender un negocio, una actividad, no lo pueden hacer porque él quiere que les atienda, les cocine, le haga el desayuno, le haga el almuerzo, le haga la cena y que lo tenga el día completo para él, solamente para él y cuida a sus hijos. Aquí la mujer siempre le dice, voy a consultar a mi esposo, ¿no? Señora, ¿va a sacar cuánto de crédito? De 1.000 a 1.000. A ver, voy a decirle a mi esposo cuánto quiere. Aún hay mujeres todavía que dependen mucho del esposo. Por más que ellas quieren emprender un negocio, por más que ellas quieren tomar la decisión, y a veces si el esposo dice, no, te retiras, hacen caso y se retiran.
The biggest challenge of community banking is men. It's amazing how much of the development world takes place because of women, not so much because of men. Now that's a little bit of sort of, stigmatizations of gender roles and so forth, but actually statistically, women do better. And the way that they make it sustainable is actually they try and protect the money for the family's well-being and the community's well-being and try and keep the men's hands off it.
Nilda is part of a community bank in the countryside near Juliaca. The women pool their money and then provide loans to each other, which members pay back with interest. The interest helps to increase each member's investment in the bank, creating more capital for larger loans and providing the opportunity to expand their businesses even further.
En la zona rural pueden tener un 20% de varones, pero en la zona urbana netamente mujeres, ¿no? Y que estas mujeres deben tener una actividad económica en donde puedan invertir el dinero que le estamos prestando, ¿no?
Nilda's share in the bank was only a few hundred sol at first, but over time her investment has grown, which has allowed her to expand the work that she does.
Primerito tenía 2 vacas lecheritas. Hacíamos leche, más que todo despachaban leche, no hacía queso.
By working in the community banks, the women are able to do together what none of them could do alone.
Compré más vacas lecheras en este periodo. Despacho leche, hago queso ahora. Así que primero saco ordeño. De ahí con una telita lo sirno, ahí siempre hay veces telita, cualquier cosa. Lo sirno, después echo cuajo. De ahí lo caliento, así natural nomás, no con agua, nada, natural, lo que es purito. Es queso natural lo que está ahorita, natural, no es queso pari, es queso natural. Y caliento y hago moldecitos. De la vaquita bota leche, de ahí hacemos queso, eso vendemos, así.
Nilda's whole life has changed as a result of the loan she was given. More income and more savings means an improved quality of life. But perhaps most importantly, it means she can have a different vision for her future.
Quisiera tener una casa, un tercer piso siquiera. Acá en la pista tengo una chiquita terrenito. Ahí siquiera construir y tener una tienda, por ejemplo, una ferretería siquiera. Ese es mi pensamiento para el futuro. Y aparte de eso, educar a mis hijas.
A un inicio, cuando yo ingresé a trabajar a ADRA, pues yo veía y decía, ¿cómo estas mujeres pueden hacer una actividad económica con un préstamo de 200 soles, ¿no? Que estamos hablando de $70 más o menos, ¿no? Yo no podía ver, pero hoy que ya puedo ver que hayan progresado, porque yo vengo trabajando 14 años en portafolio de microfinanzas y he visto a muchas mujeres que han salido de la pobreza.
And in our individual success, what we also bring about is sustainable community success. And so, community bankings excite me because it's communities using their own resources to actually bring about sustainable change in a positive way. And it just takes a little bit of training and initiative and maybe a little bit of literacy and numeracy skills, perhaps a little bit of skill training for the people who are looking to start up some small enterprises to help them to understand a little bit of more business skills that they can actually plan for their industry in a sustainable way. But really the true resource comes from the community itself, and that's a great model of development.
It takes more than money to lift people from poverty. These groups of women come together with not just their resources, but with their dedication and commitment to one another. There's a spirit of communion among them, a relationship with each other, and with God, who provides all things.
De que yo nunca pensaba sentarme así que en una mesa, tener una oficina. Yo siempre humillada en mi casa, dominada de repente por mi esposo. Pero ahora me siento contento, alegre. Yo agradezco siempre a Dios. Mi vida ha cambiado bastante de lo que yo era antes.